but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today. Hey, Chris, is that you? Damn. Hey, Chris, is that you? Damn. Can you hear me? I don't know. If you don't know who I am by now, I don't know what you've been doing. You been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we do. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, Chris Cashflow, Money Monroe, and I'm right back at you with another real estate video. Today's video is being brought to you by me, Chris Monroe, and guess who else? Rich Groves. What's going on?
What's going on, Chris? How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. I'm just waiting for my computer to reset, so I'm on the cell phone now. See how that works. Technical issues, right? Welcome to 2026.
Absolutely, man.
Say you're the you have more meetups than anybody in St. Louis, don't you?
I try. As soon as I hear somebody else got another one, I got to get another one.
No, that's right. What's the main thing about meetups? I mean, what's the strategy behind it? Is it something that actually helps the community come together, or what's the main benefit of people attending meetups and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, it serves two purposes. One, it gives a place for people to build a community, right? And people, if they're interested in real estate investing, they find a real estate investor meetup, they go to it and they hang out, and it serves that purpose, gives somebody a place to learn from other people that are there, and it builds that that sense of camaraderie, and it helps you build your network of not just real estate investors, but there are other people usually attend those meetups. You might find a a lender, you might find a contractor, you're looking for a roofer. Hey, you ran into a roofer at a meetup. So it's a great way to expand. I always tell new real estate investors when I meet them, I'm like, man, what do you do? I mean, I ask them, that's one of the first things I ask is, are you going to meetups? And if they say no, I'm like, oh, you are missing out. You've got to find a meetup. It doesn't have to be my meetup. Find a meetup, go to it, see what you think. And if if you don't vibe with the people there, find another one. You will find one you vibe with the people that are there. And that's what I think that's really important is you got to find people that match like your style.
What do they say? Like minds, like minds.
That's right. That's right.
Something like that.
Absolutely. My green screen is going crazy behind me.
Well, hey, that's technology. I'm still waiting on this computer to reset, so I'm still on this phone. Hopefully, I don't have to hold this thing the whole time because I usually like to have it all set up here and
Yeah.
have the whole thing going. So,
Yeah, man.
so for people who may not know, who are you, Rich Bros? And maybe for the first time that never saw Rich Bros, who are you?
Yeah, I mean, I married my high school sweetheart, Kim. We have two boys, grown boys, which people ask me also, like, how in the heck do you have so much time to do all this stuff you're doing? Well, I don't have little kids, to deal with, which I know a lot of people do. But, I bought my first investment property in 2005. And for the past 13 years specifically, I've been involved in hundreds of real estate investment deals. I've had the privilege of working with hundreds of real estate investors. And what I've learned in that time is how to build a seller's trust without making it seem like it's all about me. So that's what I do.
Hey, you said the truth right there. Everybody's wondering what's in it for me. How much money can I make off this person without really
Right.
listening to what they're telling you? Because many times, sellers will tell you what they're looking to do, and you just gotta
Yeah,
help them get to that goal, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. Guide them along. And like you said, the main thing is just listen. Listen to them. Listen to what they're saying. Not thinking of what's my next question. I'm looking around, watching and hearing all the cha-chings as I'm looking at the walls cracking and whatever. But you're asking questions, listening, and you're there. You're present for their situation because they're going to pour out their heart to you. They're going to, if you're successful in your questioning and you're asking questions, peeling back the layers, like you say, find their pain points, and people like to put up a front, Chris. You know that. They're like, oh, I might think about selling my house. I'm thinking about it, and they got foreclosure tomorrow. I mean, that kind of thing. It's like, I was thinking about selling my house, but they know they have to, but they're not going to make you feel. They're not going to let you know that, and they're not going to let you know the real reason they're selling a house until they trust you.
Hey, that's important. Yeah, that happens actually quite often when people say, "Yeah, I might just do this," or "I might," and you find out all along it was something totally different, not even what we were thinking. That's why I
Yeah,
always teach and preach, don't think for the seller. Ask questions and allow them to answer, right?
that's right. You ask enough questions, and again, if you're not making it about you, you're listening to them. They're gonna open up. They're gonna tell you, and it's a magical thing when that happens.
100%. And so, what are you doing these days as far as finding deals to buy or doing more deals? Is it more just the meetup stuff or you marketing? What are you doing to find your motivated seller?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit less of any of that stuff these days. It's a lot of word of mouth stuff. I've had the privilege of building up enough of a network that people send me deals when they come across their deals, especially like new investors that they want to work on things. They'll send me a deal to look over and whatever. But yeah, I do some marketing still. I do some cold calling. I actually, well, I mean, I'm sorry, I do some direct mailing, and then I use there's a guy I like that's freaking amazing. He built this great AI tool that is a cold calling, just amazing engine that I can't find. I haven't found anything better right now. And then we can upload 10,000 phone numbers into it, and it'll automatically call everybody. And it's amazing with how good it is. It's better than some of the big name people's stuff that's out there that I don't want to mention because they're good people and they got good programs. It's just this is a lot better. There's a lot less lag time. So long story short, found an incredible AI auto caller that will call all of those and talk with them, have the conversation, so I can upload 10,000 leads and get to the 50 calls I need to make, or get or my team will make, or whatever. Where it's like how daunting it is, even if people when they're brand new real estate investors and they go out and they buy lists, right? And they get let's say they get 1,000 lead list, right? And they got here's 1,000 leads, and they skip trace, and now they got 5,000, 10,000 numbers. And oh my gosh, am I going to call 10,000 numbers, Chris? Even think about you know, you're not going to call 10,000 numbers. Who's going to call 10,000 numbers? That's such a huge number. It's so daunting, especially for a new real estate investor. It's like, oh, I'm just going to, and then they freeze up and they stop and they waste the money they just spent on those 1,000 leads and all of that. But if if you can upload that into a system that'll make those calls for you, and now you only have 50 calls to make, because these are the 50 people that really have indicated they've got some reason to sell or they've got a need to sell. Now 50 sounds a lot less intimidating than 10,000.
For sure. And and even what you say there, I mean, that's not even counting how many people are going to tell you no, hang up on you,
Right.
cuss you out, all the problems you're going to come across when you're dealing with these types of situations. It's just 10,000 leads or whatever is too many. And they're really not
Oh,
leads. Are they
right.
prospects or
Right.
suspects?
Yep, that's true. Yeah, and
For sure.
you don't know until you talk to them, right?
Hey, I'm looking for a reason to disqualify a person. I'm like, why
Yeah,
don't you just go on and put it on the market? I mean,
right.
why don't you just go on and rent it out? You know, I always try to send them another way if they want to go
Yeah,
another way.
yeah. And I mean, when I'm talking to a seller, you know, I try to give them three options when we're done. I'm completely honest with them. I'll say, look, I may not be your buyer. When we're all talking, I may not be your buyer. You may, when we get down to it, it may be better for you to list it with an agent. It may be better for you to make the repairs yourself and then list it and make a little more money or whatever. But I might be, and let's talk about it and let's figure that out.
100%. That's what I say. I mean, it's a lot of ways to skin that cat,
Yeah.
but say networking, using some paid service. I mean, what do you think a new person today should start though? Should somebody start off with wholesaling? Should they come in trying to buy houses? Should they do, what should a new person who want to get into real estate start with today in 2026?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think if they're brand new, depends on what they want to do. You know, some people come out, they don't really want to do the wholesaling thing. That's how I cut my teeth. You know, that's how a lot of people cut their teeth getting into real estate investing, because it has the least amount of risk, right? So it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, right? You got to put some work into it. So people that don't want to put any work in it, they should stay away from wholesaling for sure. If you want it to be the easiest thing in the world, just buy you some turnkey rental properties. It's not going to be the cheapest, but it's going to be easy because you already got a tenant in place and all that stuff or whatever. It's going to be easier. But if you want to work at it and have a little less risk, wholesaling's great. Wholesaling's great. Do it right. Do it legally, right? I know Missouri's got that law coming out here in a few days, and Illinois has already got their law about doing one every 12 months. So I mean, you just got to do it legally and ethically. But I mean, wholesaling is pretty, but it's for the people that are afraid of risk. That's good. If you don't, if you got a little money and you want to buy rental properties, that's fine. I usually try to tell people, don't buy rental properties unless you got enough money in the bank to cover any things that come up. If you're a traditional long-term rental holder.
For
But
sure.
if you do creative stuff and rent to own and stuff where you don't have to put any of that money in repairs and things like that, then yeah, you got more flexibility to do that kind of thing.
That makes sense. How's my audio? Is it still good?
Yeah, it's good, actually, real good.
Okay, just want to make sure because I got junk going on here. So I had to switch over to a different camera because glad I got two cameras hooked up because that one ain't even working. We're gonna play on this one.
Oh, wow.
Cool. So technology is our friend in 2026. So
That's right.
using software, networking, and new people probably should start wholesaling, in your opinion.
Yeah, and I know there's people out there that get started and shoot, I was in that, man. I got into real estate investing because I was living paycheck to paycheck, man. I need to find a way. People call it side hustle. I hate the word hustle just because it seems so dirty. I mean, I know what it means, and it's just got this bad. Sometimes it's got this bad feel to it, but it is what it is. You're hustling, you're grinding, you're trying to make it for yourself, for your family, for whatever your why is. So some people may not have, well, geez, Rich is talking about hiring this AI caller to make these calls. I don't have that kind of money. I just want to call. Well, that's fine. Start small. Start very focused on a specific zip code. You want to find some motivated sellers. Drive around, drive for dollars. Those kind of things. Start small. You don't have to start huge. You don't have to start with an automated AI dialer or anything like that. But as you grow, be open to scaling like that.
Yeah, that was one of the things I did when I started. I spent a bunch of money on a bunch of stuff. I was like, well, just buy that, just get that. I mean, I wouldn't recommend anybody doing it, but I kind of believed in myself starting like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm getting to the finish line. And that kind of mentality where you just don't quit, or you just have that, I guess, entrepreneur bug where you're like, I don't care what happens, I'm going to figure it out. That kind of person probably could pull it off, but generally I would not recommend buying a bunch of softwares and subscriptions, especially with AI, because I'm rebuilding a lot of my back-end systems now and canceling a bunch of subscriptions. I know you mentioned something about a AI caller, dialer, doing all that.
Right.
I'm rebuilding all my stuff now to where I don't even have a subscription for it. So
That's
more to
awesome.
come on that. I don't want to speak on it too much until I get it finalized on all the king side of it, so where I don't have to, you know, pay these people bucket loads of money, because, you know, they're going to charge you, right?
Yeah, no doubt. If it's something, and especially if you're technically inclined, or you're building a team and something, or a partner, and your partner's technically inclined, you're more of this, they're more of that. You know, everybody stays in their lane. That's cool. That's great. Build your AI can help you with so much stuff, building your systems and all that stuff.
For sure. And so you do a couple of meetups here in St. Louis. Which of them is your favorite?
Well, since I got this slide behind me, no, I do. Yeah, you're right. I do. So I've been hosting meetups this is my 10th year of hosting in-person meetups. We took obviously the break during COVID face to face, but we still met continuously via Zoom. Heck, Chris, we used to co-host meetups together, even. But that was called the Hootie's House Buyers Club. We still have it in St. Louis here, you know, at the South County Hooters every first Tuesday of the month. But my passion is probably the more traditional meetup I do, which is called the Gateway to Freedom Meetup. And that's the third Wednesday of every month. And that led me to launch the conference that I do every year that you're going to be speaking at, you know, this year, the Gateway to Freedom Conference here in St. Louis, October 23rd and 24th. And but that Gateway to Freedom meetup, it's just fun. We get, you know, free. We give everybody some free food. We give everybody a drink ticket. We've got a sponsor that generously donates 3 Home Depot gift cards that we draw for and give away every month. So it's a lot of fun.
For sure. And so tell me more about this Gateway to Freedom that's coming up on October 23rd, you say, right? That's a weekend here in St. Louis, right?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday. And it's, you know, everybody talks about, and you hear about it, that real estate has built more millionaires than any other type of avenue in the history, right? So being in St. Louis, and we have the Gateway Arch, you know, I thought we'd play on the whole gateway thing. So Gateway to Freedom is the conference, because real estate is your gateway to freedom, your financial freedom, your time freedom, your freedom for choices, you know, whatever. All of that is driven by having, you know, something to provide you that freedom, like, you know, like real estate and income, passive income, active income, whatever. So this year, this is our 4th year doing it, and we're hosting at the Hollywood Casino and Hotel here in St. Louis, and we've got 26 speakers lined up. 26 speakers going to be on the stage over those 2 days. And conferences aren't just about the speakers. I mean, it's incredible to be able to say, hey, look, we've got some really incredible speakers taking the stage, but it's also about that connections and then networking. You got people from all over the country going to be there, but it's focused on St. Louis, right? Whether it's you know, hey, it's just for St. Louis people. No, it's not. But we've got a ton of St. Louis speakers taking the stage. And it's talking about St. Louis as a real estate investing place. I just shared to my Facebook today, mortgage lender I know, Frank Rosica, shared a recent article talked about St. Louis being the least expensive real estate investing market in the country. And it's just so, you know, it's so appealing for people, especially, you know, somebody from California or somebody from Texas or even Florida. They're like, holy cow, I can buy a house in St. Louis for how much and fix it up and rent it out for how much? I'm getting what % return on my investment? What? Right? So St. Louis is it's just so incredible as a real estate investing. And I want to highlight the market. There's so much we can do in rebuilding, you know, St. Louis one house at a time. But we've got people like yourself who are having such tremendous success here in St. Louis and beyond, and touching, you know, and really inspiring people from all over the country. We've got people like Jamil Damji, who's like right behind my head here. Jamil Damji, like the king of wholesaling. Yeah, that's right. Jamil Damji, like the king of wholesaling, is going to be there. Justin Colby, huge rehabber, and he, you know, at one point had the largest real estate podcast in the country as well. He's going to be here. Sam Prim, obviously a local legend, is going to be here. I'm trying to figure out where my fingers are going. There we go. Like Ashley Perez here is an RV park investor out of Florida. She's fantastic, amazing. We've got some, talking about systems. We got Christina Aguilera, not the genie in the bottle, the amazing Christina Aguilera, systems pro and guru. She's the queen of SOPs. She'll be here. We've got one of my personal mentors, Jenna Hoover, is going to be here. She's amazing as well. And even one of her mentors, Travis Oglesby, right here in front of me, he's going to be here. And then we've got some amazing St. Louis speakers like Kevin Duragi, Megan Greathouse. We've got a whole women's panel. So if you're a lady watching this, we're going to have a whole segment just on women in real estate investing, what it's like, the challenges women have to face, how they overcome it, what they do to have success, because we've got some incredible ladies taking the stage too. We've got Lee Fjord. Wrong. Man, I'm having a hard time with my fingers pointing. Yeah, Lee Fjord over there doing multifamilies. We just got a ton of stuff. We've got short-term rental folks. We've got mid-term rental folks that are going to be here as well. Flippers, rehabbers, wholesalers, everything you can imagine. But it's about connection. It's about connections. And being a small venue, you're going to have the chance to talk probably to every single one of these speakers, and connect with them.
So this meeting, you think something for newer people or people that seasoned or anybody that's just in the market of getting into real estate altogether?
Yeah, anybody. I mean, anybody, even if you've, the great thing about these conferences is anytime I've gone, I've run into mixes, whether it was, in Miami area or if it was in Vegas or wherever, I run into newbies. I run into people who've been doing this for 30 years. And they always find one thing they can tweak, right? Because that's the thing with seasoned investors, even like yourself, Chris, you go to conferences, you go to things like that. You're trying to find that one little tweak, right? That one thing that can make a little bit of a difference in your business, that can make you some money and change how you do things. So even seasoned investors, it's great, but this is huge. This is huge for new investors, especially, but that's not its only purpose.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because we got Mr. Transaction Engineer. He's down in Atlanta. I think he might have been in the game about as long as you. You said you started in 2005, Rich, right?
Yeah, that was my first one.
When did you start, Mr. Transaction Engineer?
04.
Oh, we got
me. He's got me. He's got me.
1 year, man.
No, that's good, man. So
Mr. Transaction, this is Rich Groves. I want to introduce you, make sure you meet him. He's a good guy in St. Louis here, making it happen.
How you doing, Rich?
Good, buddy. Good. How are you doing?
Fantastic, man.
Good. Did you stick through the crash?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Stuck through the crash. I went to start doing modifications and then short sales.
Oh, okay. Is that what you do now, mostly short sales?
Nah, we do everything. Short sales, subject to wholesale, lease option, whatever come through the pipeline.
Yeah. Not going to turn away a deal, right?
Nah, if it's a deal, we make some deals and not a deal into a deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff come up this weekend. Somebody had a property with a bunch of foundation problems. Do you run away from those, Eddie, or do you go?
That's a short sale to me.
You just go straight for the short sale.
That's a big discount.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the most you've seen though on like a discount, Eddie, on those? What's the most you've seen on a short sale where they just like damn, I can't believe they went that low?
Oh man, I got one. I just did a video about 2 days ago. We got one down from 110 to 20,000.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, man. Come man. We were doing so many short sales when the market crashed. I was loving it because I knew all the appraisals and BPO agents. They was like, "Hey Eddie, what you want on this one, man?" It was beautiful, man. But then they threw in a stipulation, that 30-day stipulation thing where you had to buy it and hold it for 30 days before you could resell it. They started messing up the business. So, but now we back and they took the stipulations out so far, but they're gonna put them back in once everybody catch on to the wave, like they did last time. So right now we enjoying it, though.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome, man. So what is what's your most favorite type of deal to do?
Subject twos.
Yeah.
I like to keep it for the cash flow.
Yeah.
Those subject to deals.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's everybody's favorite. We don't have to go get financing. We don't have to deal with no hard money lenders talking about, hey, you need to be paid off or we're gonna charge you a fee.
Of course, too, wholesaling now. Them free checks. So
Yeah.
you know everybody love wholesaling.
Oh yeah, wholesaling's like an ATM.
But you know, I messed up. Well, I wouldn't say I messed up, but when I got in the game in '04, you know, you first get in the game, nobody tell you it's gonna be a crash and what to do and what to expect. So I only had 3 subject to properties at the time.
Mm,
Cash flowing probably about 1,000 or 1,200. And so I was wholesaling like crazy. I fell in love with wholesaling, but when that crash hit, all the rehab was froze and they stopped buying.
mm,
And I'm like, oh my God. But I had a buddy that had 50 subject twos and he was
mm.
still rolling. Nothing happened. His life didn't change. So I learned a valuable lesson. Then I said, okay, I bet I be holding everything I can get my hands on now. So
Yeah,
I learned a valuable lesson, man, because a lot of people went out the game, man. A lot of people retired from real estate
yeah,
during that crash.
yeah.
Are there signs or anything that you see now that there might be another crash? Because everybody tried to scare us for a few years. There's another crash coming, and I'm like, no, it won't be anything like that '08, '09 crash.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that bad. I know they said the FHA, they're not giving any more what they call it, moratoriums or whatever that was. They was,
Moratorium, yeah.
yeah, they was holding off on them, but now they're not doing that anymore. So you're gonna see a nice influx of properties from that. So I
Mhm.
don't, but that crash, I don't think it'll come again, but who knows?
How did you make it through the crash, Rich? Did you do anything special?
I paused. I paused. I was at the time I was taking and this is full transparency. At the time I was taking a class on real estate investing and ran my deal through my professor. Like, hey, what do you think? And all this. He's like, yeah, it looks like it's a good deal, but then do it and get out. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, do it and get out. He was about 2 years early, but I got out and I
Yeah.
waited and I got, part of me is like, man, if I'd have stayed, I could have made so much money because it was, if you could fog a glass, you got a loan,
Right.
Oh yeah.
and all of that. Yeah. So I was like, I wish I'd have stayed, but then I got to thinking, man, what if I'd have been, up to my neck in bad deals and everything would have crashed. So that's why, Eddie, I'm man, how you guys got through, that's amazing.
Man, I saw a lot of people, man, kept buying properties, and we end up doing a lot of short sales for those people because they
Wow.
bought too many properties. They kept investing, and we had to do a lot of short sales to help these investors out. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I saw at that time, and I remember it wasn't just the loans, it was the loans in that 2-year adjustable rate. You can be paying $700 a month right now, and next month you paying $1,400. Like, what the hell? And now
oh
you
yeah,
look stupid.
Right. That's true. That's true. And yeah, I mean that's part of the you talk about is anything in like '08, '09 coming up. I mean it's just the rules are different, right? So that it's not. I mean, so I don't think it's gonna be like that. But if something comes and all markets correct, right? Not just real estate, but all investment markets correct. But
right.
it's just how and is it going to be a drop off like a crash, or is it just going to be a steady thing, or what? But you don't know when. You never can tell when.
I'm gonna have to ask Justin with his fresh haircut. Justin, how'd you
Woo!
make it through the crash?
I didn't even know the marketplace existed.
Wow. And that's a lot of people. People still don't know the marketplace exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you coming from, extreme levels of poverty and stuff, not even aware. It ain't no crash. You already poor.
Right.
That's what it is.
It reminds me of like my.
You go to the streets and you hustle and do your thing and stuff. The hustle market is never going to go anywhere. People who go out there, somebody always got a problem. Somebody's going to stay employed in the marketplace, no matter how bad it get. Even if you cutting grass, shoveling snow, raking leaves, doing some handyman work around someone's property and stuff, that's never going to go away. So for those people who exist in those areas and stuff, and not afraid to go back to those type of situations, it's always going to be something to do. So
Right.
that's how I see it.
I always recommend to not saying you have to get involved like hands on with all your investment transactions, but I told my kids, my older son when he was in college, he started working for a flooring company, and I kind of like said, I want you to do this, it's your decision to make, but I want you to do this because at least you're learning a skill that if anything ever happened, you at least have a skill to go lean back on because people are always going to want floors put in and whatnot. but you got a side job. But I tell new investors, learn how to do at least one or two things in your business, or on a house. Do you know how to put in a floor? Do you know how to, obviously paint or whatever, but do you know, because then, shoot, like Justin said, man, you always have something that you can go back to.
And you just said the one word, Rich, paint. You be thinking paint don't cost that much. Paint several $1,000s.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, damn, we're in the wrong business for something so tedious and simple. Like, wait a minute, I can get $4,000 to paint the inside of this house and pay somebody maybe $500 in labor to do it or whatever.
Right.
Like, that's a whole business in itself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're right. You're right.
My dad was a general. He retired, but he been a general contractor for like 40 years. So I grew up doing that stuff at like 13, 14 years old. That's what my summers consisted of when I went to his house. Painting, laying tile, man, you name it. I hated Home Depot. I never even thought I'd be in real. I never thought I'd be in real estate. I used to hate to do that stuff.
Man, I hope my kids turn out like you, Eddie. That they
It
may
was
not
a
like, because
blessing.
they see what I do, and they, because I am very hands-on with what I do, they don't like it. They're like, oh man, I thought real estate, you just hire people to do this and that. And you do, and I do, but I actually enjoy doing some of the stuff. And then, when they were younger and when I first started out, that I was doing like a lot more of everything. And they just, if this is real estate investing, I don't want to do anything to do with it.
I feel you, man. I was in the same boat.
That's the truth. It's two sides to every coin. You gotta flip it. Pick a side and get on it. So that's one of those things. Cause like even with my dad, he used to fix on cars, and I don't like fixing on cars, even though I had car rental business and all this other stuff business. But talking about fixing on a car, hell no, I ain't fixing on no car.
Were you the flashlight? Were you the flashlight holder too?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I was.
Like Justin said, we're going back to the normal stuff, and AI can't replace real hands-on work yet until they bring out the robots. Then
right. Did you guys see that video? I don't mean to get off topic, Chris. It's not real estate related, but did you see that video of that Chinese sprinting robot, like that broke Usain Bolt's record?
Yeah, really?
100? Yes. Yeah. It's like, holy smokes, man. Wow. And then, of course, when it got finished, there were two of them running. When they got finished, they crashed into a pad or something at the end.
They were going so fast.
Yeah. That was nuts.
I don't know what we're gonna do about these robots, man. They're gonna take over a lot of stuff.
Do that even count though? That's a robot. That ain't good.
Right. It's gonna be that Will Smith movie here soon.
Oh yeah.
Our robot.
Yeah. Probably got a good 15 years from now, probably.
Don't think I won't buy one though.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah.
Let's see what
they got some. You can buy some right now for like 20,000.
That red one is flying. Oh, but then I guess it's the white one that ended up winning. Yeah.
Oh, the white one ended up winning.
Yeah. And then they run out. Them crashing into that. I guess the next thing they'll teach them how to turn the corner.
Turn a little bit.
Yeah.
Now they tired and hurt.
Right.
Oh, man.
They ain't stretched before they start running.
That's right.
Now they on a stretcher.
Right.
I wonder how they get those things to generate force like that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah.
I think we have robots that can do that yet.
I didn't either. I saw that video. Like,
you want to know the truth? We got robots that can do almost everything already.
Yeah.
Almost.
They say Elon got some for sale. I think 20,000 robots.
He got to do 1 million robots here in the next year or so, something like that, a few years.
I've been following the robot game for a long time. People misrepresent how complex human beings are. You know what I mean? Like, I was watching them develop a robot, and they were trying to get it to, sensitivity and stuff. So they had finally came to the fact that, let's add the grooves onto the fingertips of the robots, right? So at first they had flat, smooth surfaces, and then they realized they're like, oh, okay, that's why we have fingerprints. Fingerprints allow you to measure, the intensity or the how hard to push on something and stuff. So you think something very small like that, how much of a difference it make for the robot to be able to make that adjustment and stuff. So I'm very fascinated that they are able to make the robots run like that. Because I've seen, I've seen them test robots on trying to like hit a pitch.
Oh, right.
And our brains, how much information and process just from the ball being released from a person's hand, how much, actual power, electricity it takes to hit that ball, because you're doing measurements and velocity and all of that, those calculations in your head so fast.
Right.
So we are the greatest machine. So
Sure.
For right now. Because that's what Elon Musk said. He said once they get the hand figured out, they almost got it. They say once they get the actual hand, that's the hardest thing of all the stuff they made with this robot stuff. Once he get that part done, he say it's on and popping, baby.
Well, send them to Venus, send them to Mars. Let's go ahead and start building on other planets.
Right, yeah, send them there to build.
They are. That's the plan. And they're going to build here, on Earth as well. Build our houses. People like, oh, they can't make a robot do this, or they can't make them do that. This lady I was at an estate sale last weekend, and she was like, oh, they can't change diapers for people, robots. Or she said, we supposed to have flying cars by now. Why we don't have flying cars? I said, we do have flying cars. They're just not in America. It's in China.
Yeah,
we got flying cars. They're called helicopters.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
We've been having flying cars.
Right.
Everybody just want to see wheels turn.
Right, yeah.
Helicopters.
Right. I call Back to the Future.
Right. So what do you think technology is going to do as far as the real estate business going forward? What is it? Is it going to help us more with the marketing side, or is it going to end up start doing some of this physical stuff that you're thinking now, Rich?
You know what? I think it's going to definitely help with the marketing side. The CRM I use has been using AI for a while to analyze every single property in the country on its propensity to sell within 60 days in 3 different ways. Like they've got over 1 billion data points that they analyze, and it tells you, it gives you a score. So they call it the sellability score from zero to 1,000. 1,000 being obviously very, very, very hot. But it's like how likely is it to sell as a wholesale, as a rental, or as a retail flip, or as a retail flip, and it gives you a score between 0 and 1,000. So I can go in right away and say, hey, show me every house in this zip code or in this neighborhood or whatever that meets this criteria, whatever beds, baths, square feet, whatever, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, by the way, show me everything that's a 500 or higher wholesale score, and it'll show me the 500 houses or whatever it is that meet that, or the 30 or the 6, whatever. Maybe I get 500 houses at 500 at that 500 score, but then it's like, okay, show me everything like 700 or more or 800 or more. Now I'm getting the really, really good deals, possibly.
So it's stacking pain points basically.
Yeah, and it's man, they've got so much data. It's crazy. Like everything from the type of magazine people freaking subscribe to. Do they even subscribe to magazines anymore? I guess if they're old. If they're old and they've owned their house for 30 years, they might be a probate.
Empty nester, a probate, a lot of stuff. Yeah, it definitely can happen. It seems like it's been more foreclosures recently, though. I don't know. Does that seem like that to you too, Eddie? Do you seem like it's more foreclosures on the market?
The top 5 states, I just done a video on that, is California, Illinois, Florida, Georgia, and I think it's Ohio.
Wow, I didn't think Ohio would make that list.
Yeah, they on there too.
Because Ohio was a pretty hot market just a couple of years ago. They were like, "Oh, I need anything in Ohio," and I'm like, "Damn, Cleveland and Cincinnati and all of that."
I'm looking to partner with somebody in California so we can do some of the short sales, get the big checks, 6-7 figure checks out there.
What part of California you want to be in, or it don't matter?
The highest area.
Yeah.
That's where my guy is at out there in LA.
Yeah.
Tell him we need to talk. We need to talk turkey, baby.
Jerry Malcolm. I'm gonna let him know you said what up.
Right.
He out there in LA. That's what he loves to do. Those type of deals, $1 million or 6-figure flips. You flip a property and make 150,000 on a flip.
Yeah, man, that turned me on.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I mean,
Shoot.
that's a great idea because I got some contractors out there I know too. So if they could do it, man.
Hey, my mentor say, the more dollars your wallet waddled in, the more stick to you.
That's true.
Come on.
That is so true, man.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. And so, Eddie, so are you doing any other marketing as far as just, you say you're looking for any kind of deal though, right? You say you got a couple of different pipelines coming in of different type of opportunities.
Yeah. We just stay mostly in Georgia. We do a little Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee
Little
was.
Tennessee.
What part of Tempe? You said Memphis?
Chattanooga.
Oh, okay.
I
What
thought you
do you
were
like
going
about
to say
Chattanooga?
Nashville.
It's just a little closer.
Yeah.
A little closer where I got boots on the ground. As long as
Okay.
I got boots on the ground, it's it makes it a lot easier when you got
Yeah.
somebody who can go check out the properties and stuff.
Yeah. It makes sense.
How do you find boots on the ground if you got a market you want to be in, but you don't have anybody there? What would you suggest for somebody to find boots on the ground in the market?
Reach out to some of the wholesalers.
Mm. Mm.
And so you would say the wholesalers because what, they're more hungry maybe, or what?
Yeah, they more hungry and they usually know the areas.
Mm.
And
Those are
they know
local
about
wholesalers.
putting lockbox on the properties and all that good stuff. So you don't have to really sit there and hold their hand.
Yeah, I had a guy like that. A deal we did off Clubhouse. Shouts out to the Clubhouse people. A deal came from Clubhouse. I found the boots on the ground on Clubhouse. They went and put the lock. They changed the locks, put a lock box on it, and we got the whole wholesale deal. The deal was up in North Carolina. Never seen the seller, never seen the buyer, never seen the house, and did a wholesale deal. I think it was $8,000 on a house I never even saw. So I was like, damn, that let me know it's real.
Dang, that is awesome, man.
Matter of fact, the seller lived in Atlanta. Where you at, Eddie? She lived in Atlanta, but the house was in North Carolina.
Wow.
Never met her, but she signed that paperwork to make that paperwork, and we go get it.
It's
Now,
so crazy how you can make some money like that. I remember my first wholesale deal. I just felt like it was so illegal, man, to give somebody $10 and make 15,000. I was like, man, something not right about this. Like the whole time I'm thinking the buyer's not gonna come and close. I'm like, oh, he gonna find out how much I'm selling it for. So I'm thinking he's not coming. They pulled up and closed. Then I got the check, and I'm going to cash the check, and they got on the phone to call the attorney. I'm like, oh God, they gonna
Oh,
cancel the deal.
oh no.
They can't. They call and verify the check, and I got the money. I'm like, okay, it works.
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
hey, we got one like that closing this Friday. We gonna pray that it make it $24,000 wholesale deal. Hope nobody look and say, "Oh no, you can't be making all that." Just get it to the finish line.
Oh, that's the one with the realtor.
Yeah, we finally got them locked in. So long now, and she don't know what I got it for yet because I blocked it out.
Congratulations.
I say on my assignment agreement, purchase price may be omitted. So on a purchase agreement, it's blocked out. And if they do the blind hood, they won't see it, but my buyer will see it at the end of it when she say like, "Damn, he made what on this? What's this wholesale thing? 23,900. What? No, man, they gonna be hating on that." Skid marks to the closing table. So it's supposed to close on the 28th as long as they don't come up with no gotchas, dealing with this own market stuff. It's always something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like on market deals, Rich, or you strictly stick to off market?
When I'm buying, I like on market. When I'm selling, I mean, when I'm buying, I like off market. When I'm selling, I want it on market. I want to get out there in front of as many people as I can.
Yeah.
Not wholesaling. When I'm wholesaling, I'm just hitting my buyers list or whatever, or marketing out there or whatever. But to buy, I want to be, and as much as it's hard, it's very difficult to do it. But I mean, you can talk to people when you're joint venturing with people. Even is I want to be direct to seller. I mean, if I want the ability to sit down with the wholesaler I'm JVing with, and we can either jump on a Zoom or a call with the seller if I have specific questions, because I want to be direct to the seller I don't want to, have to ask a question and then they may not get it quite right or what I asked and all that. It's just a headache. So it's like, let's just all jump on a Zoom together or all jump on a call together or meet up at the house, whatever is easiest, and just walk through some of the questions I have. But that doesn't happen a lot. But I like being direct to seller. So I'm very picky on like the JV deals I take on specifically for that reason.
So how do you like do a JV deal? Say Justin got a property under contract and he like, I got somebody, the house is over in one of your markets you love, Cahokia, Illinois. He got a house under contract in Cahokia. How do you structure a JV deal if Justin brought that to you?
Yeah. So the one thing I'll tell, and it's just me being honest, I'm all about transparency and being honest. And I tell any wholesaler brings a JV opportunity to me is that, look, I don't tack fees on. I don't do that. People, because some wholesalers want to bring to you and say, oh, I got this deal. It's, whatever. I'm just going to make up numbers. Hey, it's this $30,000 deal. Just add on whatever fee you want to make. I don't do it. I'm out. If that's the case, I'm out. I'm done. Because if you did your math right, if you made your offer right, we're kind of already at this point where if I add on my money, it's not going to make it a deal for anybody. So it's a waste of my time and your time. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to split 50-50. If my JV agreement specifically says I only get paid if I bring you the buyer, right? And I recommend that to anybody who JVs with somebody. Make sure your document says that that person you're JVing with only gets paid if they bring you the buyer. Because I've had people try to just ride my coattails while I had the deal and I found the buyer and they wanted to get paid.
Wow.
Kind of thing, right?
Damn, they just want to get over.
Right. That didn't last. But yeah, so I say, look, we are going to split the JV deal 50. We're going to split the assignment fee 50-50, but I'm going to put in the work. My buyer's list is valuable. My buyer's list is worth, and my marketing efforts are worth us just splitting the assignment fee 50-50. Let's not haggle. I'm not going to add on no, that's all we do. So that's what I do is I want to see, the contract, because if you have it under contract and everything's legit, you shouldn't have a problem showing me the contract. So show me the contract so I can look it over, because I want to know what exactly I'm agreeing to. Because as soon as you sign a JV agreement, you are essentially, you're essentially the person who put it under contract, even though you're not technically, but you are according to the agreement. But so I look it over, make sure everything's good before I even say, okay. And if it is good, I'm going to send you the JV agreement. Look at it. This is the one I use. If you've got one you use, send it over to me. I'll look it over, but it's going to have certain verbiage in it that I want in there. Like I said, like that splitting 50-50 if I bring you the buyer. But, and then if it's not a deal, I'll just politely, hey, this isn't going to work for me. I got to be all in for this, or they've got to be all in for this, or this is what it needs to be. I'll explain to them what I need, where I need it to be. If they can get that and come back to me and let's talk, that's fine. But,
Justin say he don't like 50-50 splits. Justin, you'll do a 50-50 on a JV?
I'm a whatever it takes type of person.
Nice.
If that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Yeah. Or you just get out the way and just give me the deal for a flat fee.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I do that too. Like if somebody doesn't have it, like if Justin didn't have it under contract, or if he did, whatever. I mean, we could work it out, whatever you want to do. But bird dog fees for people that like this is just a deal.
So that's what somebody tried to do something similar to when you first started, right, Justin? When you had a deal, they wanted you to assign your deal to them, and they go get a buyer, something like that, right?
Yeah, I was like, nah.
Damn.
Why wouldn't you do that? Just for people who may not know.
I need to control my own deals.
Yes.
You're losing control of the deal. We don't want to do that. Eddie, do you do something different? What do you do as far as JV deals? How do you work with JV partners?
I tell them put theirs on top, or whatever I got it locked in for.
See, me and Eddie wouldn't be able to do any business.
Well, neither one of y'all should just default to that. I mean, you should have your, what you prefer, but look at the deal because it might warrant. One of the biggest deals I did, somebody added some money on top of it, and it was still a good deal. So, I mean, yeah, we prefer to do it clean as possible, whatever way we go. Right. But don't let that disqualify the deal immediately without looking at the deal. Does that make sense?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah.
That's one of the huge lessons in this business anyway. And I learned it over and over again all the time is don't be closed-minded about everything. Be open-minded at least to learn and see what's going on. Don't say no, say tell me more.
Come on.
You know? So I need a rebirth every day on that one.
For sure. What'd you say, Eddie?
I said, yeah, you got to be flexible.
Yeah.
I'm always open. Like if they got a buyer and there's not no room, you know, they can jack it up, but they got a serious buyer, we'll still eat off the deal. So
yeah, and plus every deal is still negotiable. We haven't closed yet. You know, sometimes I've gone in with a JV person, go back and renegotiate with that seller, get that price a little lower so that it makes sense. Or we get our buyer to go a little bit higher so that the number makes sense. We have to make that spread make sense for everybody involved where it's a win-win situation. So just because, you know, something may not seem like exactly what you wanted to do, don't be so closed-minded going into a deal. Just generally, in my opinion, when it comes to any of these deals, because some of the stuff I thought was trash ended up being some good deals.
True.
Just like this deal that's closing Friday. That thing been on the market for what? 4 months, 5 months?
Really?
And now we finally finna close. We got a full price offer cash. Come on.
That's nice.
But it took a little bit.
Right. And sometimes, I mean, because we've been conditioned, right? Over the last few years, we've been conditioned that things got to move immediately or else it's not a deal. And that's not the case. I mean, I saw this. There was this crazy in the neighborhood. We got a rehab that's, you know, supposed to close on the 1st or whatever. We've got a rehab that is in a neighborhood that hardly anything gets rehab. It's like as soon as, I don't mean to be so morbid, but as soon as grandma dies, her family is just putting it right on the market and selling as is, and they go pretty quick. But there's no comps there's very few comps for anything that's been rehabbed and sold. I mean, there was a house. So I've got one that's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, complete rehab, 2-car garage, complete rehab. And and I was thinking, okay, well, we've got it on the market. We had it on the market for $360. There was a 4-bed, 2-bath with about 200 more square feet on the market for, let's say, it was on the market for $399.9. As is, hadn't been touched. $400,000 as is. In St. Louis, that's huge. That's unless it's like Ladue or something. You don't pay $400,000 for an as is house. That's 2,300 square feet or whatever. But
you would pay that for Nelly's mansion that was sitting on the market that we didn't know about.
That's true. That is true. You're right. But in Melville, you don't do that. So I was like, well, geez, mine's fully rehabbed. Why don't we put it on the market for $399.9? And my agent was like, let's not go there. Well, they ended up selling it. It actually closed for $375, but the point was it was on the market for 70 days. But they got $375 for as is. Like nuts.
So do you prefer to sell to a cash buyer or a retail buyer?
It depends what the situation. On the rehab, oh man, and that's the thing too, right? On a rehab or any situation, right? No matter what you're selling, the offer itself is more than just the price, right? It's how strong of an offer is it? Are they coming in all cash? Did they remove all the contingencies? Do they have an appraisal rider? You know, all this other kinds of things that can be added in. Like, well, if the house doesn't appraise for that much, I'm going to back out. You know, or I had one. The offer was there was an appraisal rider with like a $5,000 flex or something like that. I forget what the actual term was, but it's like, well, if I'm selling it, or if their offer was $375 and it only appraised for $370, they were still going to buy it. But if it appraised for $365, then they weren't, because it's $10,000 less, right? So there's all these different things you can do, and the more, and you especially can be good at this with your wholesaling deals, but the more you can remove all these contingencies, the stronger the offer is and the better it is, usually. So an offer for $385 isn't necessarily better than the offer for $375 if the offer for $385 has all these stipulations and contingencies.
Right. We don't like red tape.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. Eddie, what are you doing when it comes to talking with these sellers and getting the price and the terms that you prefer? Are you saying any magic words to these people, or what's the deal to get somebody to sign the dotted line with what you want?
look for the pain points. That's what I look for, the pain points. They really got to cash out now. Can they wait on? Can they sell on terms? So terms is always an option. Cash is always gonna be lower. I just feel the seller out, man. Just feel the seller out for doing it so long.
What if they pressing you like, hey, I need a price. How much can you give me? How much can you give me? What are you gonna do
I,
with that?
I try to get the price out of them first. If they won't give me one, then I give them a low price. That way they'll say, "Well, I got at least have this." I'm like, okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Mm. Yeah, I like to give them a range, a broad range. Like, oh, it'd be somewhere, I don't know, between 150 and 250. I don't know. It range so far, it ain't gonna be the 250, by the way. But and it might not even be the 150. But whatever number it is, it won't be that number. But if you really, really want a number, what do you really need to help you get to your next step?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the thing when people don't realize it, when you're when you're talking to that seller and you're discovering their pain points, and you're peeling back that onion, you want them talking as much as possible. You probably want them talking about 70% of the time. You're just asking really good questions that are open ended, get them talking about them. People love talking about themselves. Get them talking about them and their situation. It may seem like they're talking about something that's not related, but it might tie in completely with what they're doing. And get them talking and just listen and find out what that pain point really is.
But what is
I
the
always
trick
take a
to
lot
get
of notes.
Yeah.
taking
I
good
always
notes?
take
For
a
sure.
lot of notes when I'm talking to the sellers. That way, when I follow back up or talk to them later on down the line, I can hit different topics and subjects.
Right. Right. And that's key, because what you also want to do is after you've heard their story, after they've told you everything, if you've been writing notes and you've been listening, when they're done, you can say, so what I'm hearing is, let me make sure I get this right, because it's really important. What I'm hearing you say is, and then you don't repeat it word for word what they said back to them. You paraphrase it, you say it in your own words, but it lets them know you were listening, that their situation mattered enough to you to actually listen to them, right?
Right.
And that's a huge part of building trust too.
For sure.
Right.
How does one get better at asking questions of these sellers?
Keep making calls.
Yeah, no,
Keep
that's
making
true.
calls, man. You gotta get your
Practice.
feet wet.
Yeah, practice. And find out what kind of questions you want to ask them too. I mean, learn that, and because it's not all, when you're on the phone and you're just talking on the phone, right? Yeah, you got to get the details of the house and the all the situation, the deal, whatever, and then you can get into the conversation, and I think you can get better at asking those questions when you're actually having the conversation with the seller. Is make it conversational. Just talk. Let them do the talk and ask questions that could have a huge answer. It could have a 20-minute answer, whatever. But tell me about your situation. Tell me, what are your dreams? I mean, there's things like when I'm building rapport with somebody. My mentor, Sean Nicholas, is a huge sales and negotiation guy. He talks about this thing called, everybody probably knows about the Ford method, FORD. But he adds a G in there. He calls it G Ford, and it stands for, when you're talking to somebody and building rapport, we talk about geography. Hey, where are you from? Or were you born and raised in St. Louis? Using St. Louis, Eddie might say, hey, were you born and raised in Atlanta, or whatever? And they might say, no, I'm from Nashville or whatever. Oh, Nashville, man, I love Nashville. Blah blah blah. And you're trying to make that connection, right? Geography, but you got to make it. You got to make it genuine. You can't just make something up. Oh, I got an aunt lives in Nashville, and you never even been there. You never heard of Nashville.
Right? I hate my aunt to live in Nashville.
Right, exactly.
She used to spank me when I was a baby.
Exactly. And then you go on to family. F is for family. Oh, talk about family. You got kids. You got grand, whatever. You're talking about their family. O is for their occupation. What do they do for a living? R is their recreation. What do they do for fun? And then D is dreams, right? And sometimes you can talk about their dreams just by hey, if we're able to come to agreement and we buy this house from you, what are you going to do? What's next for you? And that is part of that D for dreams, because then you can talk about whether they're oh man, I'm moving to Maui, or they might just say I'm putting my mom in a nursing home, or whatever it is. But at least you're talking about what their next step is, and that gives you another in-depth thing you can talk about with them and build that rapport.
So you said the G4. G was for geography.
Yep.
F was for family. O was for
occupation.
occupation. R was for recreation.
Yep.
And D was for dreams
That's
come
right.
true. Come on.
That's right.
Only one I missed was O.
Yeah. No, you didn't. No, that's all good. But yeah, it's a pretty. I mean, it's pretty smooth. I mean, and that's kind of in the order of like strength too. You know, you get somebody talking about geography, and it's a joke, Eddie. I don't know if you know about it here in St. Louis. When you meet somebody, the thing they always ask everybody is, "Oh, where'd you go to high school?" Right? It's a whole thing. I don't know if they do that in Atlanta, probably not, but it's but you can talk about that here in St. Louis too, right? I mean, that's part of geography, even though it's not necessarily geography, because you got some of these people that went to private school.
Right.
So what part of the city they're from isn't necessarily what the school they went to, but that is part of it too.
So if we're using the G Ford method, is this something we sprinkle in through the conversation, or are we still structured around what's going on with them in their house?
Yeah, I mean, I think you lead off with something like that. It's a way to because when you walk into a house, no seller's actually excited to see you, right? No seller's like, ooh, I get to talk to Chris Monroe today. He's going to try to buy my house. I get to talk to Rich Groves today. He's going to buy my house. Nobody. They've dealt with 5 to 10 other buyers, wholesalers, whatever, investors from the last 2 weeks. They just think you're the same old that came in and promised the world and wasn't able to deliver. So one of the ways to, when you first walk in, you want to lower the temperature in the room, right? Like, I know you've dealt with this or whatever, but part of that is building rapport and just starting off with the first 5 minutes. You're, whether it's you talking about geography. So, like I said, born and raised in St. Louis, you're going to hear it, and you can move on to other things. You can move on to the family part. You can move on to the occupation part. But you don't have to go through the whole thing. But and you can later sprinkle it on, as you get on into it. But I think it's a really good method to get started, at least get the ice broken for them to kind of lower their guard a little bit, lower that temperature. They're not thinking you're just coming in to steal their house.
Yeah. And one of my favorite questions, like Rich said, when I'm talking to pre-foreclosure sellers, I ask them, well, tell me a little bit about your situation. And once you ask that question, they go all out.
Yeah.
They tell you everything you need to hear. You get that pen ready.
Yeah, for real. I mean, that's a great point, Eddie. That's a great point.
Tell me a little bit about your situation. They go to running then.
That's right. Well, see, what had happened was that always leads to the best stories, right?
They open them up, then they start to. Then don't let them start talking about the bank. I said, yeah, them dirty banks, they no good.
It's so true. And that's a great point, because then whenever you repeat that back to them, say, so let me make sure I got this right, because it's really important. So you're telling me the bank's doing blah, 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 and you tell them their story back to them, and then you finish it up by saying, did I miss anything? Did I get that right? They'll fill you in if you miss something. I mean, we're all human, right? You're not going to hear every single thing they said. You might forget something. You wrote it down like you, Chris, right? When you said with the O, and I said, what are you talking about? You didn't remember O is blah, 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 right? But I said, no, O is occupation. And what that does is that makes it's not me versus you. It's not me and Eddie, and I'm trying to buy Eddie's house. This is now me and Eddie against the situation.
For sure.
Now it's a teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yep.
Right.
So nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I like that. This is all what we have to do to build rapport, be better communicators, ask questions. Remember our 4 pillars: timeline, condition, motivation, price. We can even implement some of this into it, the G Ford method that he just brought up here. Good, because you never should really get on a phone or be in front of somebody and not have any questions. Because some people get stuck like, oh, I don't know what to ask. That's probably one of the main reasons why people don't make calls. They feel like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to ask them.
Right. And they get so stuck in their script, right? It's like, I got to ask them this. I got to ask them this. I got to start with just a conversation. So, hey, were you born and raised in Collinsville? Were you born and raised in Bonne Terre? Whatever it is. Were you born and raised in, now I'm trying to remember, Peachtree? I don't know. I think there's a Peachtree area of Atlanta. Right? Yeah, yep. Peachtree. It's like Peachtree Avenue, Peachtree Street, Peachtree, everything down there, man. It's awesome. But at least break the ice and then just have a conversation with them, and that will lead into the questions you need to ask them.
For sure.
And
That
you
may
got some sell, you got some sellers that straight to the point. So
Yeah,
you don't want to drag it around too long because you're gonna piss them off.
that's true.
So if they
And
straight
you
to the point, you better be straight to the point too.
That's so true. That's so true because that's part of rapport building too. Is you want to match their energy, right?
Yeah,
You want to match if they're straight and to the point. Go ahead, that's fine. You maybe ask one little icebreaker question, and now let's get into it. But you still have to get them to like you. You still have to
yeah,
get them to trust you because people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust.
yeah,
And that's they trust Eddie's going to be able to buy their house. That's the main thing. They're going to sign the papers.
yeah.
And one of the things that I like to ask them, especially when they say they got other people that already came and looked or whatever, why didn't that work? What about their offer did not work for you?
Yeah.
So we could try to figure out what is the missing piece. What is the missing link? Is it just their price? Is it the timeline? You need more time before you can move? Is it something else going on? A car in the driveway we're worried about? I don't know how I'm gonna get my car to Colorado or wherever. I mean, it's all type of stuff people are thinking about. That's why I try to be open and ask and let them tell me what I got to do to close them. I'm not there just to close you. I want to know what I need to do to close you.
Yep. That's huge because people may be afraid of those things, right? They may be afraid to hear that because they're not maybe equipped to solve that problem. Oh, I gotta get this car to Colorado, or I gotta help them figure out how to get that car to Colorado. But what you're doing is you're basically saying, hey, what are the objections you're gonna have to keep us from doing this deal? Right? And they're going to give it to you up front. And once you know what problems, once you know where your hurdles are in the race, you can prepare to jump the hurdles.
Yeah.
Right?
If you can pick 1 to 2 things that has to be done to make this deal go through, what would that be? What are your top 2 priorities?
Yep.
What's the biggest challenge you're facing that's stopping you from doing that thing you just told me you wanted to do? And they'll tell you. Because that's what we need to attack. Not always just beat them up on price right out the gate. We need to understand them before we plan them.
Yes. And like Eddie said, man, just be very mindful of, does it seem like people can be uncomfortable with the conversation for a couple reasons. One, they've dealt with 4 other wholesalers and they've dealt with 4 other investors and they've been run through the mud and they just don't trust you. So you got to lower the temperature. You got to work with it that way. It also might be like, look, I just need to get to the number you're going to give me because that's the most important thing. And like Chris was talking about the different questions, asking them what are the 2 biggest priorities for you in this or whatever. Huge. The other thing might be embarrassment, right? I'm sure you guys have probably been to houses where as soon as you walk in, the seller's giving you the apology tour. Right?
Sorry,
Like, oh, man, I'm sorry, man. Ignore that pile of newspapers in the corner that's been since 1963. My grandpa was a hoarder. Blah blah blah. He's got the Kennedy assassination papers in there. Whatever, all this stuff. Oh, excuse the stucco that fell down on the backside of the house. Excuse the ceiling in the kitchen that collapsed because we had the tub overflow up in the ceiling or up in the upstairs. But you get that apology tour, right? So they're embarrassed about the house. They're embarrassed about their situation. So like Eddie talked about, tell me about your situation, where you open it up, like you're letting them know it's okay to talk about those things.
Yeah, getting them to open up is a skill set for sure.
Yeah.
Because you want them to tell you all that stuff. All of that ammunition that they gave you is what you're going to use to get the deal done at the end of it. Because you have to identify all the problems to come with a solution for all the problems. And once you gave a solution, they just have to make a decision whether they go with you or decide to keep looking. That's it. It ain't even about getting too much deeper than that.
Yeah. Because how many? I apologize. I keep talking all the time.
Go ahead.
You're good.
How many times you've been working with and talking with a seller, and you go in to make an offer because you think it's all about price. And you make this offer and you think it's actually pretty good because they talked about a price they wanted and they actually told you. So you're coming in with the price. Hey, I tell you what, I'll give you that 50,000 you were looking for. Here's the 50,000. We can even close next week for you. And they're like, no, that ain't gonna work. No, because they need 2 months to get things together to move out, right? So they're not going to do. But you didn't ask about that. You didn't talk about that. So you had no idea. You talk about those things up front. Now, again, you know what obstacles you need to clear. So they already told you we need a couple months to move everything out. You can adjust your offer like, hey, we can close within 60 days. If you guys are ready sooner than that, we can do it. That's fine. if you need the full 60 days, we can put a contract date on there for 60 days.
Yeah.
Other than the price, what else is important to you?
Right. That's right.
Make them give you another objection. Force
Mhm.
another objection
There
out
you
of
go.
them. Because when
Yeah.
we just thinking it's always about price, we already lost. Because
Yeah.
it may not be the most important thing.
Right.
And if they tell you those two things, and you're walking through it and you're like, so, I think things are good. I think we're probably in the ballpark. I think we're in on the same page with you on everything. You mentioned that the price is important to you and that you needed 60 days to close. Other than the price and the term and the amount of time you need, do you see anything else that would keep us from doing business today? Right? And that opens again. It opens them up to say, well, yeah, there's this other thing, you know. I need to take my AC unit with me. Whatever, whatever stupid thing they bring up.
Oh yeah, they will do some silly stuff like that. I just put that brand new furnace. I'm taking my furnace out.
Right.
I had somebody do that before. That's how I came up with it. That's the only reason. Like the stuff that you say sounds funny, like you just made it up. No, somebody did that.
No
this
kidding.
house, matter of fact, they took the furnace out of this house.
No kidding. Oh man.
He said, I just bought that furnace. I'm taking it with me. I'm like, dude.
Right, where you gonna put it at, man?
And he still owe me money too, by the way. That's another story. Whole nother story.
Oh man.
This is what people do in real estate. That's why I always say real estate is easy. It's people that can be complex.
Yep. Yeah. For sure.
So, yeah. Other
Every
than that,
deal is different, man.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing, man. Eddie, you probably think, you probably have enough experience that you think you've seen everything until that next deal, right?
Oh God, man. It never it don't stop surprising me, man.
Yeah.
it's always something going on. Just like October 23rd. What's going on again, Rich, for people who may have missed it earlier?
Yeah, it's the Gateway to Freedom Real Estate Investor Conference here in St. Louis. We got 26 amazing, top-notch, successful speakers going to be on stage right here in St. Louis at the Hollywood Casino and Hotel. We've got even yours truly right here over my head. Well, there he is, right there in the yellow jacket with the red circle on the collar. Mr. Chris Monroe will be there. That's right, absolutely. As well as some amazing people like Jamil Damji right there on my shoulder. We got Justin Colby's going to be, Jenna Hoover, Travis Oglesby, Sam Prim, Ashley Perez. I can't keep forgetting to miss her, Miss RV Parks. If you even thought about doing RV Parks, that's the person you want to come here for sure. But hear all these amazing, amazing speakers taking the stage. And then there's going to be hundreds of people in that room. So come and network, connect. You never know. I used to tease the very first, this is our fourth year doing it. The first year I did a couple of video clips, threw them online, social media. One of them was like, hey, people even meet their life partners at events like this. They do, they might. We actually, I'm not kidding you, a young man and a young woman that attended the very first conference is getting married that weekend.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you. They met up and I was talking to him when I remember it clearly. I was talking to him at the conference that day. He was sitting in front of her, like he was in the row in front of her. And they were talking, and I'd seen him kind of like checking her out or whatever. And I walked up and said, "Hey, have you talked to her?" He's like, "No." I go talk to her, man. Go talk to her. So I could say I kind of connect. No, I'm joking.
You're a love connector. Oh my God.
But it is true. You never know when that next, and not necessarily a romantic thing, but you never know when your next partner is going to be met in a room like that. He's got money, needs to know where he's going to put it, and you just happen to have a deal that needs to raise some money.
Yeah, could be a business partner. Who knows?
That's right. That's absolutely right. Yep.
Yeah, my first seminar, I still network with two people that I met. Shoot, that was how many years ago? A long time ago, but we still talking do deals.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're right, man.
You can imagine how much, and I don't necessarily need to know how much money that cost you to go to that seminar, but you've probably made multiple times over just with those people you met.
Oh yeah, it was $5,000, man.
No kidding.
My boy Ron LeGrand, millionaire.
Oh, Ron LeGrand. Oh yeah. The Godfather.
Godfather of.
He used to be called the name of the seminar. He used to call it the Millionaire Maker.
Oh.
So he and what really blew my mind, that was the first seminar I went to, and he closed one of my deals on the stage right in front of me, and I was like, wow. Dang. It was a subject to deal, and the lady worked for the IRS.
Wow.
And he called her up and closed on the deal, Coach on the stage. I was on the stage with him. I was like, wow. This was back in the day, so we had to send a fax machine. We had to
Oh,
send a fax out to the seller. She signed the contract while I was in the seminar because it was a 5-day seminar. She
wow.
signed it and sent it back, man. The rest was history, boy.
Dang. That is incredible. That's a great story, man.
That blew my mind, man. I said, this meant for me.
Right. No kidding. That was proof in the pudding right there.
Oh, Paul. I love Paul.
Yeah.
Yep. First
That's
time I
Man,
met him was in Atlanta there when I came to that event back in 2019 down in
really
I went to the boot camp for Ron LeGrand back then when I first started. And they
okay.
yeah.
closed one of my deals on the stage there. I already had one
Dang.
under contract, but they set me up with a second house when I was there. I was like, dang, this is not playing around. People
Yeah,
Right.
they agree.
selling their house right over the phone, signing paperwork.
Wow. I'm gonna have to
Man.
implement that next year. We're gonna have an on the stage
Yeah, man.
deal makers, man.
Yeah. Because that's what
that,
he does. I want
that's
to do, he still
incredible.
closing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Man,
he still do stuff.
no kidding.
I need to
That's
see Paul, man. He about
that's
100
great.
years old now.
No, right. That's what I need to see. If he can come. I need to see. Maybe next year I get both him and Kiyosaki up on. No, I'm joking. I don't have the money to. I don't have the cash to get those guys on the stage because
Ooh,
you
they
know they're
want
gonna
big checks.
they're gonna charge them big speaker fees.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I
Especially
need 20
Kiyosaki.
million for 20 minutes.
Right.
Damn.
It's like might as well get Gary V up there
Yeah.
Might as
and
well.
Milet. All those big, those big high ticket dollar price guys.
Alex Hormozzi.
Yeah.
Ooh,
No
you know
kidding.
Alex
That'd be
charges.
great. That'd be fantastic.
Out of control.
That
Cool.
was the
So how do
reason.
people get the tickets or whatever
Oh,
if they want to get to that event
yeah.
coming up on October 23rd?
Yeah, and prices are going up. They really are. They're supposed to go up tomorrow even. So I'm not trying to put people in on the spot, but go to even when they go up, they're still going to be the most affordable ticket you've ever bought to a real estate investor conference. But they go to the number 2 free like freedom.com, g2free.com. It'll have you put in like your name and stuff, and then you can buy your tickets. We have VIP tickets right now, like today, Sunday the 23rd. VIP ticket is $299. General admissions $149. It's gonna go up, and general admission will be $299, and VIP will be $449. But even
That's
then,
some good prices, man.
Thanks, man, Eddie. I was just gonna ask you, what have you probably spent a lot more than that on your tickets? You already talked about $5,000.
Oh yeah.
20 years ago.
I got about over 300,000 in my education because
Man,
I was going crazy with the seminars.
yeah.
How important is that, though, Eddie, for someone to take the time to go to seminars, get education, and really get serious about their craft?
Very important, man, because one idea can change your whole life, can change your business, man. I'm telling you, it's worth it, man. I'm telling you, especially for them prices, man. Shit. Man, them
Come on,
jokers,
Eddie.
man. I'm paying $5,000, $10,000. I got a funnel coach to help me put the funnels together. I paid him $30,000 about a year ago.
Right.
Man, you got to pay to play, baby.
Right, you do. And the one thing that's different, Chris, about Gateway to Freedom is, you go to some of these other seminars, and Eddie, you can probably back that up too. You go to these other seminars, they're all weekend they're pitching their big mastermind, right? Toward the end, especially, they're like, hey, for $30,000 you can join our community. For $50,000 you can join our community. Ours
Right.
isn't like that. I mean, yeah, each of our speakers, they might have speakers, they might have coaching things, and they'll have their presentation, and at the end they might say, hey, look, if you want to work with me or find out what it's like to work with me, here's a QR code, scan it, we can set up a call, or this will go to my website or whatever. But it's not going to be, there is no Gateway to Freedom mastermind. I'll talk about my trusted investor thing very briefly, but it's not going to be this pitch fest. It's not going to be pitch fest. Everybody can talk at the last couple of minutes of their presentation about, hey, look, if you want to learn more about investing in RV park, I'm sure Ashley will have a QR code up there. I'm sure Justin will have something up there. I'm sure Jamil will have something up there. But the cool thing is, it's not this huge mastermind at the end that, hey, do you want to get into our mastermind? You can just say, hey, you know what? I really liked the way Jenna Hoover was talking. I want to learn more about her situation. Let me scan that QR code. Or I really liked what Caleb Geiger was talking about up there. Let me scan his QR code. So you can kind of pick and choose which person you want to connect with afterwards.
Yeah, I like that, man, because they wear you out with somebody pitching you every freaking time, but you be like, oh my God. That's how
For
Ron
$1,
stuff
we'll
used to
get
be
you
at one
started.
time.
Right.
Yeah, Ron stuff like that at one time. He was like, "Oh my God, there's another one."
And that's it is the name of the game. Most of these conferences, people get that they get worn out, right? They get that people are just they're tired. Like, oh, it's another conference. They're going to try to pitch me for another $50,000 mastermind. That's not what's going on here. That's not what's going on here. So yeah,
That's so true, man.
yeah.
But what is it really? What is the value of it when you take the time? What is the cost? What cost is too much? I guess that's the real question. What cost would be too much, you think, Eddie, just generally for education to take your time to learn this stuff?
I mean, it depends on what kind of course you're doing, what you're looking to do. Cause some of these guys they charging 50 grand, 30 grand. So I mean, if you can afford it and you trust in the person, they got a good reputation of helping people, then shit, it's priceless.
Yeah.
They can
Yeah.
take you to the level you're trying to get to.
What is your thought on people to say, let's just do everything for free? Let's do a free this, a free that, the free 99, the free crowd. Is that
No,
valuable?
because they don't take you seriously, man. And most of them not going to do anything.
Right.
I've been there before with my coaching, man. No,
Yeah.
I don't want nobody free. Like even when I do my workshops, you got to pay at least $45 to come
Right.
into the workshop.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, that
people
makes
be playing games, man,
Right.
wasting your time.
Right. What kind of workshops you do down there?
I do a 3-day. I got one this week. 3-day
Yeah.
workshop showing people how to buy properties 9 different ways.
Really?
Also, we're gonna show people how to do the AI, get their AI set up, and I also got a deal evaluation software. So you just
Okay.
put your stuff in there, what type of deal you got, and they print out what it give you a couple of different options to get to the seller.
Oh, okay. I'd love to talk to you. I got a lady down in Atlanta I know, coworker that's been wanting to buy houses and stuff. So I'd love to connect her with somebody local she could talk to.
Okay, that'd be great. I
Yeah.
get your info from Chris.
Yeah. Sounds good.
for
Sounds good.
sure. That's the name of the game. Networking. Your network is your net worth.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
somebody's in the market doing a deal right now, and
Yeah.
in the market you want to be in.
Yep.
right.
Yep.
And that's why
And
we
you don't
all
know. You don't know unless you get in there and start talking about it. You talk to people, connect with people.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
tell people how they can set up for what you got coming up here too, Eddie, next week. How do they get signed up for that?
I got a link thing. I don't have a link.
Just find Mr. Transaction Engineer on social media and you can hit him up.
Yeah, you can look on my YouTube page, Mr. Transaction Engineer. My last video, I got the link at the bottom. The last 2 or 3 videos from this week, the link is at the bottom of the video.
Mr.
Bottom of the video.
Transaction Engineer. Why do they call you that, Mr. Transaction Engineer?
Because I know how to engineer these deals.
I love it. Oh man, I like your picture there, man. I like that chair.
Hey man. Oh, you asked me my favorite type of deal. It hit me.
Yeah.
One with 2 mortgages, 2 different banks.
Really?
So I could short sell a second mortgage
Ooh.
for about 10% on a dollar or less, because they
Right.
know if the first mortgage foreclosed, they're gonna get wiped out. I can get
Oh,
rid of them for 10%, 10 to
right.
15%. Now I just created a nice chunk of equity. So I can
Yeah.
keep the property in cash flow or I can sell it.
Man,
Now
I
that's
like
my
that.
favorite one. That's
I
my
like
favorite.
that.
2 mortgages, different banks.
Yep,
Take over the first, short sell the second.
correct.
Boom.
You just created cash flow, more cash flow, and equity.
Yeah. Dang, man, that's great. That's
Create
phenomenal.
equity out of thin air.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's a
That's
good one,
my
Eddie. That's the
favorite.
kind of deals I like too. Anything where we can create cash flow out of nothing, and I don't have to fill out an application. I don't have to request tax returns and W-2s and bank statements and ask them for permission to buy the house. We're buying the house because the seller signed his paperwork. Those are the type of deals I like.
And click on the live section when you go to my page, because most of my deals I don't do pre-recorded. Most of them are live. I got over 900 videos. So
Oh
Oh
man.
wow,
yeah, I've
you
been on
ain't
here
playing,
since
Eddie.
13 years, man.
Wow.
YouTube.
Nothing wrong with that. Any final words for the family, Eddie, you want to share before we land this plane?
Keep growing and going, guys, and get more education. Because the more you learn, the more you earn.
Come on.
True.
What about you, Rich Groves? What you got?
Just invest in yourself. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a guy selling a conference, but invest in yourself. Whether it's coming to my conference or doing something else, whether it's connecting with Eddie or Chris, invest in yourself because that's how you grow.
Yes.
That's
Like
right.
I say, if you don't pay a mentor now, learn the lessons, you're going to pay by making a mistake. So you're going to pay one way or another. By
It's either money or time.
Or by learning.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, man.
I believe in paying for speed. I do. I mean, I get a mentor, like you said, get a mentor. I believe in paying for speed because it took me, the very first deal I did was 9 months after I started my business. After I said I was going to be a real estate investor, it took me 9 months to get my first wholesale deal. When I started deciding I was going to be a wholesaler, it took me 9 months because it was one more video, one more article, one more this, one more that. Even though I knew it worked. I knew people that was doing it. I just didn't believe in myself. And I turned down a mentorship program. I was like, nah, I'll just learn it on, well, I mean, YouTube wasn't nearly what it is now, but I'll learn it on videos. I'll learn it on articles, all this, but it took me 9 months. Whereas if I would have gone with that mentor, it may have taken me 9 weeks or less.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
Yeah, you want to speed it up because, Father Time is undefeated, right?
That's right.
He's going to catch everybody here, you, me, and all of that. Y'all, Father Time is undefeated.
That is very true. Very true.
I appreciate you both hopping in tonight, sharing some of your wisdom to the family, letting them know that, they can definitely make it in this business of real estate and the business of life and entrepreneurship and whatever else you want to call it, because success is out here for those who want to go get it.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, Chris.
I will catch y'all on the next one.
Sir.
Do what you do, be who you be, and I'll see you before you see me. Good night.
Love it.
So I want to get into real estate, but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today. So yes, I basically just wanted to remind everybody exactly how the Future Cash Flow Club works, because I've been getting a lot of messages like, what is that about? How does it work? It's basically a group. So you see how I do these live seller calls, things like that. You get to get all the replays for all of those. You actually can get the paperwork, purchase agreements, assignment agreements, cancellation agreements, addendums, all of that stuff that you need if you sign up for the elite package at futurecashflowclub.com. Or if easier, it's probably you can just go check it out for a free trial. Lots of goodies in there, behind the scenes stuff, actual help with your deals. If you want to communicate, say, hey, I'm stuck on a deal, I need some help, I'm looking for lenders, I'm looking for whatever, I'm a resource for you. So all you have to do is be part of the club. futurecashflowclub.com. Check it out. I don't know what you've been doing. You've been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we do.